This is The Wheel Weaves, a Wheel of Time podcast with no spoilers. Welcome, listeners. I'm your host, Dani, and I'm the first-time reader who's going through this 15-book series chapter by chapter. As always, there's no spoilers past the chapter we are covering, and that means it's totally safe for first-time readers. I'm joined by my co-host, Brett, who's a longtime fan of the series, and he's acting as my tour guide on this journey. Before we get into things today, we just want to thank and welcome Murder Mondays, Melissa Triplett, and Graham Greenfield to the Wheel Weaves Patreon team. We're super excited to have your support and really want to thank you for your generosity. We also want to acknowledge Aaron and Brandy Kirkwood, who increased their pledge to become an executive producer level patron of the Wheel Weaves podcast. So thank you so much for your support and your generosity. We're really excited to have you on board the producer level team. In this episode, we're talking about chapters 15 and 16 of the Dragon Reborn.
Yeah, chapter 15, we have the Gray Man.
Yeah.
And chapter 16 is Hunters 3.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
Also, I have to acknowledge, because we've put this off for as long as we can, so my voice can return to normal, but I have a little bit of a sinus infection.
Yeah.
Because turns out you can just get regular sick in a pandemic.
You can.
When you've just been, sterilizing your immune system.
Which is, a huge, freak out, too, because they're like, oh my god.
Yeah.
But it's just, regular sick,
yeah.
So not as exciting.
I went and endured the COVID test. All good. Just regular sick.
So this is gonna sound probably terrible.
Yeah, sorry.
But,
Sorry. But I'll power through.
Yeah.
And hopefully it doesn't sound too bad.
And luckily, these chapters, they're not long, but there is a lot of good content.
There's some good stuff that happens.
There
some
is.
Exciting stuff.
We're, finally getting into stuff happening.
Stuff happening is my favorite.
It is,
I like when stuff happens.
Yeah, it's not just, descriptions of rooms and such.
Yeah, there were some descriptions of rooms.
But there was less, and there were things in between those descriptions which were exciting.
Okay, alright. So you are gonna start us off. I almost missed it, but I didn't.
Yeah, you got it.
Okay.
A fun fact, and this one I've kind of been sitting on for a little while because I read a little bit about it a long time ago, and I've been waiting for this chapter because we get to hear a little bit about Elaine's whole deal with her story about how about 700 years ago there was this epic queen, Mordrellin, who led her soldiers into battle and did all this amazing stuff and saved the day, and how Elaine thinks that it's that kind of courage that she needs to show to earn the title of
being queen.
Being queen.
Yeah.
Yeah, and it's kind of funny because this story has a little bit in common with Julius Caesar, Alexander the Great, and Achilles, the Greek hero.
Okay, but those are all males. I thought you were going to tell me about a story about a woman who went into battle.
No.
Not Joan of Arc.
Not of Joan, no.
No, just kidding.
I don't know enough, but I can do some research and figure it out. But this one's got to do with these three guys.
All right.
It's good, though. You're going to like this one.
Okay.
So the commonality between these people and Elaine and the Queen is that the feeling of being insignificant when you're compared with your ancestors and great people from history, that is something that's very common all across the world all the time.
Okay.
Now, we're going to start with Julius Caesar because, he's a pretty well-known dude. You probably know who Julius Caesar is. He's got, a month named after him.
Uh-huh.
He got stabbed a bunch of times, probably did some other stuff too.
Yeah.
But when he was visiting Egypt to figure out the Egyptian succession, it said that he stopped at Alexander the Great's tomb in Alexandria. And he wept at the tomb of Alexander because Julius Caesar was in his 50s, and comparatively, he had accomplished basically nothing in his life
compared to
Alexander the Great, who in his 20s conquered the known world.
Right.
And Alexander died when he was 33, and Julius Caesar thought, I'm the worst because I haven't done anything.
So insignificant.
Terrible, right? And then the funny part, we're going to jump back because that was 300-year time difference between Julius Caesar and Alexander the Great. And then we have Alexander the Great, and it's important to note that for ancient Greeks, they believed that their great heroes of myth were actually mortal people who'd lived and died a long time ago in the distant past. So what royal families would do is they would trace their lineage back to these great heroes. So Alexander the Great, as a child, was taught that he was a descendant of Achilles.
Okay.
So when you have to live up to the accomplishments of Achilles, you really have to like pull out all the stops.
Sure.
Yeah, like conquer the world. And that was 900 years before Alexander the Great was born. So we're not going to go into a ton of detail about this, but there's a shocking amount of things that are similar about Alexander the Great's life and how Achilles lived his life too. So everything from like having a great tutor, so Achilles...
And when you say Achilles, you mean Brad Pitt, right?
Brad Pitt Achilles.
That's
with
what I know.
Couple asterisks beside that,
Yeah,
but
yeah.
you know, that's okay. But Brad Pitt Achilles, you know, fought at Troy.
Yeah.
But so basically both of them had great tutors as children. Achilles was taught by Chiron the Centaur, so we're not really sure if that was a real thing back then.
Sure.
Yeah, and then Aristotle was actually the tutor of Alexander.
Right.
Yeah, and then they both had like a great lust for combat. Achilles and Alexander both led, you know, giant Greek armies on great campaigns, right? So Alexander conquered the world, Achilles, the whole Troy thing, as per the movie.
Sure.
And they both died young, both shortly after the death of their companions/lovers. And this is kind of like the big asterisk because, like, in the Brad Pitt version of the movie, they tried to play Patroclus off as, like, his nephew or his cousin or something.
Yes.
So when he died, not his cousin, most likely.
Yeah.
And it's, like, a whole big contested thing. But also for Alexander the Great, that movie, when it came out, there was, like, Colin Farrell and Angelina Jolie. That was boycotted.
I didn't see that one.
Yeah, there's a huge boycott because they had shown Alexander the Great in, like, homosexual relationships, which probably there was a lot of that, too, for him.
Right.
So they like didn't like that. But most likely Achilles and Alexander the Great had very similar stories with their lovers being killed, and then after their partners died, they did almost identical things. So they held them for hours, they refused food and drink, they constructed elaborate pyres and cut their hair short. So it's very similar that Alexander like mimicked what Achilles did because he lived his entire life like him.
Or what he had been taught
about what had happened.
Did.
And we don't actually know if Achilles was a real person. That's a whole nother thing. But the list goes on, but it seems like Alexander tried to live his life because he was a descendant of Achilles.
Gotcha.
So.
And you're telling me that Elaine is going to live her life like this brave-ass queen?
Yeah, so basically the whole point is that when, you know, great people can feel really insignificant when you're compared to, like, the greatness of the past. So if these great people were thinking that way, Elaine is already showing kind of hints that she needs to, like, live up to the courage of this great queen who rode into combat. So
she's, like, not wrong.
She's not wrong, so I guess we'll have to read and find out what she does.
Okay.
Yeah.
So let's get into chapter 15 then.
Yeah.
The Gray Man. And we get that sort of dark friend picture.
Yes, we do.
So last time we had Egwene, Nynaeve, and Elaine being scolded by the Amerlin, sort of. Yeah. And Swan knows all about Leandrin and the Black Aja, and there's been a whole bunch of stuff surrounding that. Plus, Egwene and Elaine are going to be raised to accepted, and Egwene and Nynaeve are going to be on Dark Friend Watch.
Yes. And Elaine was excluded from that.
Yeah.
The conversation.
Right. So we are still in Egwene's perspective, and they are just leaving Swan's study, and Nynaeve is pretty skeptical about everything, and Egwene just sort of wants to protect herself by literally any means necessary.
Yeah.
She's just going to kill everybody who looks at her sideways.
Yeah.
Basically, at this point. And Nynaeve says that there's a reason Leandrin wanted them sent away, and if there are any Dark Friends or Black Aja here, they will already be after them.
Yes.
So
that's the whole, like, where are we in the communication?
Yeah.
Like, is there a network still in the tower, or, like, what's going on?
Right.
Now, last chapter, you kind of predicted that there's not a whole lot of Dark Friends left, if any, or Black Aja.
Yeah, yeah.
Are you still feeling the same way?
Did I say that?
You
Because that
did.
sounds wrong. That sounds like an in-the-moment thing I said.
Yeah, you were like, probably, like, very few, if any at all. They all probably left.
They all probably left.
Yeah.
So
are you changing that, or are you sticking with that?
I think I was wrong.
Well, we don't actually know.
I don't know.
We don't see any, like, definitive, like...
That's true. We don't see any Black Aja.
We just see assassins that probably are employed by, like, Dark Friends and Black Aja.
Right. Yeah, I'm gonna go with there's probably still some here, just based on the event.
Well, I don't want to make you flip, but, you know, that's okay.
Yeah, no, I didn't remember that I said that, so that's fine. And Nynaeve wants to start following, like, the oaths. And, like, not just attack everybody with the power.
Yeah.
Maybe, like, she doesn't want to be like the Shanshan. Like, maybe she's having this, like, thing where she's like, we're not going to use the power as a weapon. Or maybe she actually wants to be like an Aes Sedai now and actually get better.
Yeah, like, she kind of got the carrot dangled in front of her, like, oh, you could be an Aes Sedai really soon. So
if
she
you
might
can control yourself.
Yeah, like, maybe she's, like, seeing the light on the other side.
Yeah. Because she says that there are other ways to protect yourself other than just, like, attacking everyone. Or else Aes Sedai would just be, like, all killed as soon as they step out of the tower.
Yeah, no, I agree. And it's kind of weird. Like, Nynaeve's entire train of thought is kind of weird to me because she seems to think that the Blockage, like, is going to know exactly as soon as they start doing anything, they're going to know.
Yeah.
But, like, in my eyes, if they know what you're doing as soon as they see you, you're not being sneaky enough.
That's true. I think the whole thing about them even just being in the tower...
Like, they're not dead. They're here.
Yeah,
so.
like, it honestly doesn't... I think what Nynaeve is trying to get at is, it doesn't matter what we do.
Okay, they're gonna be suspicious.
They're gonna be suspicious of everything we do.
Like, Plan B is in play here. So,
exactly.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
Plan A being ship them across the ocean.
Right.
So.
Plan B being...
It's probably kill
them in the hallway.
Yeah.
So...
Hey, she was kind of right probably then.
Yeah. So they are making their way back to the novice rooms, and they stop at Elaine's room, which we know is right beside Egwene.
Yes.
Just for context, because they use their little talkie hole.
Talkie hole.
And Nynaeve says that she wants to talk to them both, but Elaine isn't back yet. And then, just then, Egwene stops to ask Nynaeve, like, what the fuck are you going on about? And then something flies past her face, grazes her ear, and then Nynaeve, like, tackles her to the ground behind some banister, and turns out it was a bolt from a crossbow.
Action scene.
And I went, whoa!
So how about the parallels between this and the whole, like, Rand and the Amerlin thing?
Rand and the Amerlin
Back
thing.
in Faldara.
Oh, the bow!
The bow, the arrow that, like, grazed.
Arrow.
It was
the
like,
arrow,
oh,
not
really
bow.
close.
Yeah, arrow.
Really close, and it was, like, skimmed, and it was like, action.
And it skimmed Swan's arm.
Yeah.
And right by Rand's face.
Yeah.
Ooh, good parallel.
Very similar.
It is similar.
Okay. I love those close calls. They're great.
Okay.
You know, that was a long time ago, so.
It was. It was at the beginning of last book, before anything really happened.
Yeah.
Oh, no, that's not true. That was after the attack.
Yeah, okay.
The Trolloc invasion of Faldara.
No.
Yeah? Yeah, it was.
Was it?
Yeah, it was right before they were on their way on the hunt.
Right. That was leaving. After, yep.
So some stuff had already happened.
True.
Okay.
But still very similar.
Okay, so Egwene tries to embrace Saidar, but is, like, super shaken up and has to try again.
Which is cool that Nynaeve does not. She's, like, ready to go.
That's only because she's so pissed off.
Yeah.
That's what Nynaeve does.
That's a good skill,
she
but,
gets
like...
pissed off, and
she's got the power, Egwene doesn't.
Yeah.
So
yeah, Nynaeve just, like, gets it no problem, and then says, there, I found him, basically.
Yeah.
After Egwene is going on about how she's like... Is it a man? I can't imagine a woman with a crossbow, but I can't imagine a man in the novice quarters. It's like, Egwene...
She doesn't say all that. She thinks it.
Whatever.
She says some of that.
She says it. She totally says it. But Nynaeve is like, okay, well, let's go find out, because she's just used the air to hold this guy in place.
Yeah.
So that whole... air jelly thing.
Yeah, air jelly comes in handy.
Is 100% the power. And
yeah.
this is just a callback, again, to the beginning of book 2.
Yep.
Where Rand was held in gelled air.
Oh, I thought you were talking about the whole Swan thing with Swan and Nynaeve.
No. This is, like, back to the whole mystery of what the hell happened on top of that tower when Rand was fighting against Lan.
You know, just to play devil's advocate here,
yeah.
The description of that wasn't that it was like he was stuck in jelly. It was like it was a wall behind him.
Well, it said the air gelled.
Yeah, holding him in place, but not like all around him jelly. It was like a wall of jelly versus like a...
It sounds like it was the power.
Interesting.
Because you can manipulate the air in such a way.
Okay. See, I didn't expect you to make that connection.
Really? Why? Do you think...
A little bit different description.
Nuh-uh, it's the same.
Okay, so what are you implying then?
I'm saying that it's 100% the power being used.
You gotta go further with that.
No, I don't know that.
Point a finger.
I don't have that.
Okay.
Like, who did it to Rand? That's all. That's all I need to know. Because the only person
Yeah.
who was around, who was channeling, that we know of, was Moraine.
Yeah, because the Aes Sedai were just showing up at that point.
The Aes Sedai were just showing up, like, the trumpets, like, you couldn't even, like, hear them.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
So, the only other thing I could think of was maybe Selene/Lanfear was already secretly around.
Okay. That's not impossible.
Because, like, she shows up later.
She does.
But doesn't necessarily try to kill him. She
what's the motive to, like,
him.
get Lan to stab Rand with his sword?
Yeah, that's what I just can't get.
Okay.
I don't know. All I know is I have confirmation that was the power.
Cool. Okay. I like that.
All.
I like that.
That's all I got for you. So it turns out Nynaeve is just a really fast learner.
Yeah.
And she can see
that's the other side
something happen once, and she, like, knows how to do it now.
That's, like, really good to know, too.
Yeah.
Quick study.
Very quick. So they head to where this guy's being held, and turns out he's already dead with a dagger in his chest, and the crossbow is gone.
Oh my, that's a lot of information right there.
Yeah, and then Sherry Amsedai comes around the corner and is like, "What happened here?" And she's like, "Oh, heavens."
Yeah.
Like, I don't know, I just picture her being all flustered.
Yeah.
And
it's funny.
And they're like, "We found him here."
Yeah, we totally just found him just like this. Well, you did some of it. Like, you got him in the air jelly.
Yeah.
So, I mean, big questions. Do you want to talk about an hour later? Who stabbed him?
Yeah.
And then who took the crossbow?
Yeah.
Was
it's
it like
the same person?
It was okay. Well, it wasn't like two separate people. One stabbed him and one took the crossbow.
Well, you just said it like it was two people. You're like, who stabbed him, and then who took the crossbow? Also, no, it's the same person.
But who did it then?
I don't know. A Black Aja.
Black Aja or like another Grey Man?
Another Grey Man, because it was quite sneaky.
Egwene also has that thought process because sneaky. Then, like, zip zap, the bolt is gone from the wall too. The bolt's gone too. Yeah, we're jumping a little bit ahead, but it's like a really important question here. So
yeah,
okay,
probably somebody bad.
Okay, I like that.
It's not someone good.
Who's just trying to, like, clean up?
No. I'm going to go with no.
Okay.
On that one. Okay, so Sherry Am shows up.
Yeah.
And she's like, "What happened here?" And she touches him and then pulls back and hisses.
Yeah.
Man, all these I said I love hissing.
Love hissing, yeah.
So much. And she's like, he's dead. Worse than dead.
So she clearly knows it's a Grey Man, like, right away, too.
Oh, yes. So. Well, and it reminds me of when Varen touched the Ogier.
Yeah,
who didn't have a soul anymore because the Black Wind stole it.
Like, ate it?
Ate whatever they do.
I said ate. I don't know if it's technically, but definitely, like...
took it.
Ate his soul.
Took it. And so it's kind of like you can tell by touching somebody their soul. Yeah. And so she right away knows
well,
this
Maureen does it
like,
with Matt, too. With the dagger.
Yeah.
So she, like, hisses.
Yeah.
And, like, backs away.
Yeah.
I think that was our first hiss.
So she tells them that this is a soulless or a Grey Man, and she gives them a little lesson, like he's the one who gives up his soul to become an assassin for the Dark One.
Yeah, and we got, like, all this information from the glossary definition.
Yeah, we already know this.
But there's new information where no Grey Man has dared enter Tar Valon since the Trolloc
Wars. And so this is
ago.
bad.
Yeah.
And Swan will definitely want this covered up.
Yes. Can I point out something really funny here? Or sneaky?
Sure.
That you may have picked up on?
That sometimes women can be Grey Men?
No.
But not often? Oh.
No, not that.
Okay. Because I picked that up because it'd be a lot easier to sneak around the White Tower.
As a woman?
As a woman.
It would be.
But so this guy was a guy.
This guy was a guy. But maybe number two is a woman.
Is a woman.
Okay, not that. But I thought you might pick up on this. Sheriam says, "You will speak of this to none but me or to the Amerlin should she mention it first."
Ah. Yeah. But don't go tell her.
Don't tell her, but if she brings it up, then talk, but not if she doesn't talk about it.
Gotcha.
So.
Interesting.
Little sneaky there.
Yeah, everything's sneaky here. So, Sheriam covers him with some dome that she, like, conjures with the one power and says that this will stop anyone from touching him and discovering what he is, and she's going to have this guy removed before the novices return.
Yeah.
Because you can't just have, like, this dead guy laying in the middle of the floor.
It's gonna freak out everybody.
Yeah. So, she goes to send Nynaeve and Egwene to Nynaeve's room, and Nynaeve questions why Sheriam is here in the first place.
Yeah.
And she goes, Does the mistress of novices need a reason to be in the novice quarters?
Yeah.
And also, do accepted now question Aes Sedai?
So what's your take on this? Because Nynaeve literally just got introduced to, like, you gotta be on Dark Aja, you're like Black Aja watch. You gotta watch out for Dark Friends. They're everywhere, probably. Yeah. I can't trust anybody.
And now you're questioning
and, like, the
Sheriam
first one you see.
as if you're, like, some inquisitor. Like,
yeah, this is not a sneaky way to question anyone.
This
and, like,
is
least
not
of
great.
all.
Yeah, this isn't great, what she does here.
Yeah.
Especially because she's not just gonna tell you.
She's like, oh, you got me.
Yeah.
Shoot. I'm captured.
Yeah. So, Egwene has a sudden thought, and this is where she must run to get her cloak because she's cold. But turns out she just wanted to go get rid of the, like, crossbow arrow.
Yeah.
And...
it's called a bolt.
Bolt.
Yeah.
And she gets there, and it's gone.
Gone. Woman, gray man. Gray woman.
Woman, gray... No, gray man.
Gray man,
Female,
woman.
gray man.
Female, gray man.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's a title.
Okay.
Gray man is a title.
Sure.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Or Black Aja.
Ooh, yeah, okay.
Or just like, yeah.
Or in Nynaeve's head, Sheriam.
Sheriam, yeah, she did
Sheriam
it.
took the bowl too somehow. I don't know. Got there and stabbed him.
Well,
yeah?
Nynaeve and I are on the same page here. I never thought it would happen.
I mean, she kind of drops a bomb at the end here. Like, this is really written.
I have something to say about this.
Okay.
Because I really, as somebody who is
funny.
on high alert for sketchy business, and I am constantly on Dark Friend watch.
Of course.
I do not suspect Sheriam Sedai, the mistress of novices, of being a Black Aja.
So, a good question to follow up then, should Nynaeve adjust her approach?
Yes,
because she's going to get murdered by the first real Black Aja.
I know.
Like, as soon as she does this,
I know.
It's going to be so bad.
Yeah, it's not great.
Yeah.
So, Egwene comes back, they head to Nynaeve's room, into the accepted quarters, and they talk along the way about how they need to be vigilant and not forget about the Black Aja. And Nynaeve says that Sheriam didn't even wonder who stabbed him.
Yeah.
And I just thought, I bet she did, just not out loud to you.
Yeah, and like she's gonna assume you didn't stab him. Like,
yeah. I don't know. So I said I know how to keep secrets and not give their cards away.
Or just not shout out every thought that comes to your head because, like...
I wonder who stabbed this gray man!
Yeah,
like,
and Egwene's like, we just came from Falma.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah. Okay, that's fun. But, like, we got some action here. Something happened.
We did. That was exciting.
I mean, this is pretty crazy, though, because literally, Egwene and Nynaeve just almost got assassinated.
Yeah, almost.
Like, as soon as their meeting was done, they just got back to the tower, just met with Swan.
Yeah.
And boom, assassins.
Yeah.
Like, from what we know, the worst type of assassins, too.
Right. So, can my theory about the killers or / thieves in the villages...
Sure. Have more weight?
Have more weight about gray men trying to actually attack them and kill them?
Okay, I'll give it to you.
More
weight,
you will?
Not definitive. I don't know if we're going to get any follow-up on that in the future, but, you know... Maybe it was assassins.
It's making a lot more sense.
Okay.
Because they're just assassins trying to kill them now.
Yeah.
In the White Tower, which is, like, huge.
Yeah.
So you think along the way there haven't been assassins trying to kill them?
Hey.
No way.
I'm just here to kind of, go along on this journey with you.
And then that makes me question Varen again. So.
Okay.
With that being said, let's jump into chapter 16.
Why wouldn't Varen just, murder them in their sleep then?
No.
I don't...
Because...
Okay.
No,
not like that.
That'll just give her away
to the dead people.
No, because there'll be too much.
Okay,
No.
Okay.
She's not the assassin.
Okay.
No, Brett.
All right. I'm just trying to.
She's just the one who arranges the hit.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Okay.
Maybe.
Okay.
Chapter 16.
Chapter 16. Hunters 3.
Right. Who are the Hunters 3?
The 3 people who are going to be hunting.
Oh!
Egwene, Elaine, and Nynaeve.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Okay.
They were 2
Not
before.
Not Galad and Gawain and Elaine.
Yeah.
Who are, like, in Nynaeve's room.
The two now become 3 when the third joins.
Because the picture is the lion's picture.
Who is the third? Where once there was 2, now there is 3. The third being Elaine the lion.
I get it now. Okay. But, like, I was trying to...
No, I get it.
Okay.
It was, like, there's... Yeah.
Okay. Because she agrees to go with them.
Iconic trio... Galad, Gawain, and Elaine.
No.
That'd be great.
Well, I was thinking that wouldn't go well. Anyway, It's
Yeah.
fine. Okay, so we're literally in the next moment. We enter Nynaeve's room, and Elaine is in there, but she's accompanied by Galad and Gawain.
Yes, yeah. And this is where Elaine was the whole time.
Well, after she got spanked.
Right.
Spanked and reprimanded.
Yeah.
And so Galad immediately gets up, kisses Egwene's hand, says it's good to see you again. Oh, I was ever so worried.
Hey, there's definitely a little bit of connection here, so...
Well, it's only because he's so beautiful.
But, he could apparently have any pick of the litter here.
Yeah, but he really likes Egwene.
He really likes Egwene.
So, the boys want to know, where have these 3 ladies been?
Okay, so just before we get into this, because we get a ton of back and forth.
Yeah, I know.
Whose side are you on? Are you on the tell your brothers side, or are you on the, keep it a secret?
Keep it a secret.
Okay. Just, don't give him any... Because Elaine is a closed book, doesn't say anything.
She's not budging.
Okay. I just kind of feel for the brother, because, it's their sister.
Yeah, I know, but, how much is gonna get out? You know what I mean?
Okay.
This isn't something, the Amyrlin specifically says,
okay,
don't tell anybody, because then you're going to be associated with dark friends.
Sure.
You went with a dark friend.
But, from Gawain and Galad, do you think that Elaine might tell Gawain later without Galad there? Because she really hates Galad.
There is a potential for that, but I just don't think so.
Just a straight closed book.
She's just no...
Because she had a very close relationship with Gawain back in Camelin. They were definitely friends.
Absolutely. And that's probably upsetting Gawain that his sister went missing, and she won't even say...
For months.
Yeah, and she won't even say, where she's been or what's been going on.
Yeah,
and then,
she's just none of your business.
Yeah, later on, he's like, you owe this to Mother!
Yeah.
Right? And she's like, ah. But, I don't know.
Okay. So, team not tell.
I am team not tell, because I don't think any of this should get out.
Sure.
But, do I think that it won't get out?
It'll definitely probably get out.
Definitely get out.
Yeah. There's no question about that.
Yeah. So Elaine says that she went to Nynaeve's room because she didn't want to be alone, and then these idiots followed her.
Yeah.
So Galad says that his sister's safety is his affair. And Elaine right away snaps, I'm not your sister! And so I said, so much for being mature.
I don't want to do it to you, but another prediction you said last time, wrong. Just really fast.
Super wrong.
Because you were hoping, and that's fair hoping.
I was being
very optimistic. Yeah. It's maybe Elaine will turn around and stop being, but nope. 5 pages later.
Literally a second later, she's like, I'm not your sister!
Yeah.
And he's like, yes, you are.
Even he tells her, hey.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So the guys are like, you need us to keep you safe. That's how we convinced Mother to let us stay here, basically.
Yeah. I mean, apparently the rumors, Swan was all oh, I kept everything under wraps.
Yeah.
Apparently not. Because the boys know.
They're the tower's become a dangerous place with murders and rumors of Black Aja, and we convinced Mother that if you were to return here, we need to look after your safety.
And they know that Aes Sedai were killed. And that's the part that Swan's oh, I'm pretty sure I got that under wraps.
Yeah,
so we're all
and
good.
Gawain.
It's they know.
And Galad know, so.
They're pretty, but we don't know how smart they are.
So they're trying really hard to get some answers out of the women who absolutely are not budging, and Nynaeve says that Morghase's command hold no weight in Tarvalin, and Gawain tells Elaine that Mother was half crazed with fear, and she owes her at least to let them know where she has been.
Yeah. They are pushing pretty hard here, so.
Yeah, and then Nynaeve just says, that's enough. Get out of here.
Yeah. I love this little whole bit where Galad tries to turn on his charm, and Nynaeve's having none of it.
Oh, literally none of it.
And she does the counting.
Yeah, he's a child.
Because he's kind of acting like one.
Yeah, and she says this whole thing about how you don't have permission to be here, and I'm going to tell on you, and you're going to get in trouble. And she's totally bluffing, but they don't know that.
Yeah.
So after, dragging it all out, they finally leave.
Yeah. Well, I mean, for Galad, this is different, because his charm probably usually works.
Yeah, but not on Nynaeve.
Not on Nynaeve.
You have to be a certain strapping warder.
Yes.
To have your charms be effective on Nynaeve.
Yes.
And even then.
Even then, not so much.
Not so much.
Yeah.
So Elaine starts on Egwene about the whole Galad stuff.
Yeah.
Saying how horrid he is, and he'll turn you in for breaking one rule.
Which happened to them in childhood.
Oh,
so,
for sure.
This is probably where it all stems from.
Oh, yeah. And she says that Egwene should go after Gawain. And Egwene goes all girly and is like, oh, but he doesn't even look at me. And Elaine's like, oh, he won't because Galad is interested.
Well, and to be fair to, like, Gawain, like, you're fawning over Galad, like, you're his brother.
Yes.
So I kind of get that, too.
And then Egwene's like, oh, well, get him to say some nice stuff to me, and maybe I'll be interested. Like, okay.
Okay, we need a prediction. I know the people are looking for it. If you were Egwene, or in the book, what do you think Egwene is going to, maybe I shouldn't say what is Egwene going to do. Who is Egwene going to do?
Right, who
Galad
is
or
Egwene
Gawain?
going to do?
Or neither.
Why does she have to do anyone? Can't she just, like, focus on her studies?
I just said neither was an option. I said that.
Yeah, that's not a very fun option, though.
Okay, which one then?
Okay, I would prefer her to go after Gawain.
Okay.
Because I think Galad will be trouble. Like, Min has predicted that Galad will be trouble.
She has said that.
And he will do anything.
I feel like there's a but coming here.
Yeah.
You said I would prefer that.
Yeah, I know.
But...
I think Egwene will probably, I don't know, get with Galad and then, like, get screwed over.
Okay.
Or something, maybe.
Okay.
Even though everybody tells her that's literally exactly what's going to happen.
But she's going to fall into that anyways?
Maybe.
That happens in real life all the time to people. So, like...
Yeah, either that or neither.
Okay, yeah. I like that. Sweet, okay.
I don't think it'll actually be a Gawain, Egwene story.
I mean, it seems like the whole, like, she's really playing into the, it'd be so fun to be sisters, but, you can be sisters without, like, dating a brother.
That's true.
Like, just be best friends.
And then Egwene, says, oh, well, like, maybe I'll choose green because greens marry sometime or whatever, so...
Yeah.
Whatever. So that's basically all we know about greens so far.
Yeah.
And Nynaeve has had enough of this. And so she starts to tell Elaine what the Amerlin said about the Black Aja, and then Egwene starts to protest, saying we weren't supposed to tell anyone.
I have a question, because I meant to ask you last chapter, and I forgot to ask you last episode, not last chapter.
Yeah.
Last time we recorded, when this first got introduced, when Elaine was clearly excluded.
Yeah.
Did you ever have a thought that Egwene and Nynaeve would not tell Elaine and do it on their own, or did you think that she was going to be included?
I didn't think she'd be included.
Okay.
I thought for sure they would want to keep her safe.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Because I think that they're both in quite a bit of danger.
Yeah.
And
well, they almost got assassinated.
Yeah, I get where Nynaeve is coming from, where she doesn't want to do everything exactly as the Amerlin told her to do, because she's much too skeptical of Aes Sedai and their motives.
Yeah. So it's like if Swan only wants the two of them in, she's gonna bring in a third party just because.
Maybe.
So, like, follow-up question: do you think that Swan thinks that they're gonna include Elaine, or do you think that she's like?
I think that she's hopeful they won't.
Okay.
Yeah. I think Egwene doesn't want Elaine to be in this danger.
Yeah. Swan just seems like the person who has contingency plans for literally everything. So it's like, do you think that she
seemed very uncertain of even telling them this, though. So I honestly don't know. Yeah. I don't know.
Okay.
But Nynaeve wants to tell Elaine because it's Nynaeve and Egwene who are threats to the Dark Friends, and not Elaine, so she won't be suspected.
Yeah.
So she can go be sneaky and find stuff out, and no one has an eye on her.
Undercover secret agent.
Right.
Yeah.
And so it's especially apparent now that they were just almost murdered, that the Dark Friend and Black Aja clearly have an eye on them.
Yeah.
And so, I mean, I get Nynaeve's rationale about this, getting Elaine in and who won't be suspected, but you really think Elaine won't be suspected?
Yeah.
Like, you're literally hanging out with her.
Like the three best friends all the time.
Yeah.
So.
Of course she'll be suspected also.
Yeah.
She's just a casualty. Like, no one cares.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, no, I get it.
So this is where they tell Elaine that it'll be dangerous, and Elaine says, no, I want to do it. When Andor goes to war, the queen rides with the army, so she should learn to be brave like that.
Yeah, and that's where we get the whole story about 700 years ago. She rode into battle to save the day, carrying the flag, and everybody had to chase after her because she was, like, riding into the middle of the troops.
Cool.
And they rallied, and they saved the day, and they won.
Cool.
Against Tyr. Those jerks.
Yeah. I have to admit, I didn't read the whole thing.
Oh.
I grazed over that.
Yeah.
But that's okay.
Long story short, be courageous, ride into battle unarmed.
Cool.
Hope your soldiers are going to follow you.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, a good queen doesn't just, like, watch.
She rides in.
Yeah. Cool. So Nynaeve straight up just like tells her everything. And she also says that she's worried that the Amyrlin means for Matt to die.
Yeah, this is so good.
Uh-huh.
This is great.
This is great.
Yeah.
Well,
not great, but
it's
it's
not
like...
great because not on her watch.
Yeah.
So come on, girls. We'll go heal him.
Yeah.
I'm worried for Matt here.
Okay.
I mean, like, I get he's going to die
anyway. You've been
anyway.
pretty flip-floppy, like, in the sense that, like, you know he's not going to die.
I know he's not going to die.
But it's like, what's actually going to transpire?
What's going to happen?
Here, so.
If I was on the fence about whether or not Matt was going to die, I'd be concerned that these 3 untrained Aes Sedai are going to go attempt to heal him when they could make things worse.
They could. That is a possibility.
They don't know how to heal against shattered Logoth evil.
Yeah.
So...
Okay.
I don't know. They're going to try to, like, divide the flow.
Yeah, we kind of get, like, a little bit of information where it's, like, apparently Aes Sedai can work together in some fashion.
Yeah, we knew that, though.
Yeah, we don't really know how.
No,
but
and
they certainly
don't know how.
how.
They've never tried working together before, but they have been constantly told how powerful they are, so why not?
Yeah.
Bah.
You know, I do appreciate that Nynaeve still has, like, the back of the Emond's Fielders. Like, she's still playing, like, Mother Hen and protecting everyone from Emond's Field.
Yeah.
Like,
yeah, she's like, we're not going to let Matt die.
Yeah. Well, it's like back in Emond's Field, Matt's like the troublemaking,
Yep.
like, kid who always gets in trouble, and even out in the world, she's like, no, we gotta go save our own.
No, but this is one of her own. Exactly. Yeah. That's exactly it.
So I do respect that part of it.
Yeah. But then the door busts open, and an Aes Sedai enters.
Yes.
An unknown Aes Sedai.
Yeah.
Which I had to read a couple of times because I was a little bit confused as to what was happening.
Don't worry, it's not going to be a secret very long.
Yeah, it's the next chapter, right?
Yeah, it is. Yeah, no,
Shoot.
You can't really avoid that. But anyways, it is an unknown Aes Sedai. It's a very nice cliffhanger. Great for the end of an episode.
Sure. What's the next chapter called?
The Red Sister.
Oh, I bet that's who busts in.
That would make a lot of sense, yeah.
Yeah.
Probably a Red Sister.
Probably a Red Sister.
Yeah.
Who do we know who's a Red other than Leandrin? Elida.
We do.
Elida's Red, right?
She is.
She would bust in on Elaine and be like, oh, especially if she ran into, like, Gawain and Galad.
Oh, like in the hallways or something?
Yeah.
And she's like, what are you doing
Where's
here?
Elaine? Yeah, or something. And they're like, in there!
They, like, all grew up together. And we do know that Elida is supposed to be back in Camelin
and isn't.
with Morghese and is not because Morghese would not let her. Because Elaine was gone.
Shoot.
Uh-oh.
Yeah.
Elida, if it is her, is going to make Elaine not very happy, probably.
Yeah, and if it's not, then it's somebody we haven't met, because I don't think we've met any other Red Ajas.
Not by name. Well, I think we may have met a couple by name way in Faldara, but I'm not 100% certain.
Yeah, I don't
Because there's like a whole bunch of names that were thrown about.
Right.
And I didn't go and look, so.
Right.
Not important.
Not particularly.
Yeah. But, okay, so prediction time.
Okay.
Especially about Matt, because that's like priority number 1.
Yeah. I don't think in the next couple chapters we're going to get a Matt healing. I would like there to be a Matt healing, but it just sounds like
I don't care about the next couple
I'm just saying, get dragged on.
Who's going to heal Matt? Is it going to be
Nynaeve and them?
It's going to be the girls.
Oh, yeah.
Like, we have a slight delay, but you think the 3 are going to then go off and go and save Matt?
I do. That is 100% what I think is going to happen.
How about that twist?
And then I think that that's going to have to be the whole... They're not even going to get in trouble because it's going to be like the Taviran of Matt.
Taviran Matt would be like, I need someone to save my life.
Well, and the pattern isn't going to let Matt die if the pattern wants Matt to live.
Oh, I like that.
So even
That's
if
great.
the Amyrlin has been like, well,
Whoops.
I'll get to him when I get to him.
Yeah.
I'll just, like, let the fates decide.
No. What time is it? Oh, my goodness. My watch is wrong.
I lost track of time before I got to you. So
Taviran Matt is pulling people to heal him.
I think so.
To save his life.
I think that's what it is.
That is a fantastic prediction.
Yeah, because I think we got a little bit of a nod to Moraine saying, I should be paying more attention to these other Taviran because turns out you're all pretty freaking strong.
Yeah.
Right?
Okay. And then we've got the 3 girls now who are roped in.
Yeah.
Nynaeve, who is way over aggressive on the whole questioning, like Aes Sedai about being Black Aja. So we'll see how
and
that
Egwene
goes.
who just wants to kill everyone on sight.
I'm just thinking, like, how is this going to go with the next Red Sister who enters here? Is Nynaeve going to be like, are you Black Aja?
Yeah.
But it's going to be interesting to see what happens.
It will be interesting.
Yeah.
I'll be interested to see what happens.
Okay.
Okay, I'm going to go read on.
Yes.
And I think we can officially say that this is part of the pattern now.
Yeah, it's part of the pattern.
Thank you so much for listening to this episode. The Wheel Weaves is hosted by Dani and Brett, edited by Dani, produced by Dani and Brett with Vince Lewick, Scott Williams, Passion Socks, Mozime, Michelle O'Brien, Derek Benton, Benjamin, and Derek Schluter, with music by Audionautics.com. If you'd like bonus content, like bonus episodes, outtakes, Q&As, more fun Wheel of Time talk, early access, cool stickers and keychains, and also to support us making great content, visit us at patreon.com/thewheelweavespodcast. Don't forget to check us out on Instagram and Twitter at The Wheel Weaves Podcast. We love interacting with our listeners. Plus, don't forget to rate, subscribe, and tell a friend about us because referrals really are the best compliment. We'd really love for you to come over and join our Discord channel for some spoiler or spoiler-free discussions. You can find the links at our Twitter page as well as on our Patreon page. Thanks again for tuning in because this really is part of the pattern now.